1964, Nintendo Company is funny. Their latest toy, called the Rabbit Coaster, allows you to race 4 jelly beans down a slide. I guess that the beans are supposed to be rabbits. It looks pretty fun. Their next toy was called Picture Cutter. Players are given weird scissors that they can cut pieces of paper with. This is like the toys they had in the Great Depression. Nintendo had all these contraptions, like this little bowling game. The Nintendo Ultra Hand, the stupid-ass hip flip. They had a toy called Ellie Conga. The original version of Duck Hunt would project little ducks onto your wall. The Ultra Machine would pitch you little T-balls. With this combination of innovation and electronic know-how, it only made sense for Nintendo to embrace the emerging industry of video games, and in 1978, Nintendo released their first tabletop arcade machine called Block Fever. It's just a rip-off of Breakout. Very obviously just ripped it off. Then they did a game called Space Launcher. They were ripping off of Space Invaders on this one. And the promo art featured TIE fighters from Star Wars. And no way did they pay for the license. 1980, the president of Nintendo calls up everybody in the company on a big phone and he says, "Today we are going apeshit with the release of our new video game, Monkey Magic." Reggie of America was blown away. He ordered 3,000 units to be shipped to the United States the next day. But then he actually played the game and he said, "This was the biggest mistake of my whole career. There isn't even a fucking monkey in this game. And it's just ripping off a Breakout again." So, to fix their shitty game, Nintendo hired a guy called Nintendo Miyamoto, who teamed up with Gunpei Yokoi, inventor of the Nintendo Love Tester. With their powers combined, these two came up with the idea that they should add a monkey to the game. Except, Miyamoto had absolutely zero experience in developing a video game. Other than doing the music, the only semi-relevant skill he brought to the table were his illustrations, and even then, his talents were dubious at best. When Reggie asked Miyamoto to change the main character from a monkey into a donkey, Miyamoto replied, "Okay, here is the concept art of the new character Donkey Kong." And still to this day, this is what Miyamoto thinks a donkey looks like. During its extremely short development cycle, Miyamoto had to learn from the ground up how a video game was actually created. As the game's director, pretty much all he did was bounce ideas off the 4 programmers, asking them, "Can we do this? How hard is it to do this? That's impossible? What if we do this?" Why? Why was this completely unproven man selected to direct an $800,000 video game? Well, because he had won a contest. Maybe it was his lack of context that pushed them to do ideas they normally wouldn't, or maybe the programmers were just really good and Miyamoto kept egging them on. Whatever happened, the end result was the most complex game ever created up to that point.
You can't get hooked on it.
Are you?
Yeah.
In many ways, Donkey Kong was a breakthrough title. It wasn't just the first Donkey Kong game, it wasn't just the first Mario game, it was the first platformer. It was the first game to have a character running and jumping over obstacles. It was the second game to have distinct stages or levels. Before, Donkey Kong games would just repeat one stage at varying speeds and difficulties. Even though it also looped, Donkey Kong stages were stitched together with cutscenes and various melodies featuring an actual conclusion to its story. Playing Donkey Kong today, you notice that this game is fucked up. If Mario falls 3 feet, he will die to fall damage.
That kills you?
And he's very slow, but the obstacles are extremely fast and erratic, and they kill you in one hit. Most players are too afraid to even leave the spawn area, but then a flame enemy crawls out of the oil and chases you up the screen like a motherfucker type of guy. It is such a brutal, unforgiving game, but the stratospheric difficulty also heightens the drama of it all. In this one image, Donkey Kong tells an entire story. You have Donkey Kong all the way at the top floor. He's the CEO, okay? He gets the lady, and he spends his days just fucking around, laughing and chucking barrels. Then you have Mario. He's a blue-collar guy. He probably built the building that Donkey Kong's standing on. He starts all the way down at the bottom and has to go through hell, literally climbing climbing up the ladder of success one floor at a time, and when he finally reaches the top, what does Donkey Kong do? He jumps up 50 floors in 3 seconds. This game is about life. In its first year, Donkey Kong generated $180 million for Nintendo. For many developers, a success like that would have been the pinnacle of their career. For Miyamoto, it was just one minor step onto far greater works. Donkey Kong would receive 2 arcade sequels, but it wouldn't be until 13 years later that the series got its next major installment, with an absolutely massive successor that made the original look like a demo. This game would be called Donkey Kong.